Hello guys, welcome to my Pixellab tutorial. So there are many things I want you to know, but as a beginner, first of all you have to get used to your tools, the tools you are working with. So the first thing is this A symbol that is here. So you can see it's having styles, edit, delete, copy, to front, to back, position, relative position, size, padding, color, texture, opacity, rotate, mask, front, style, copy, background, align, spacing, line spacing, stroke, shadow, inner shadow, embrace, perspective, 3D rotate, 3D test, 3D shadow, and reflection. So in this episode 1 of Introduction to Pixellab, I'm just going to dwell on all these things. So first of all, let me start with the edit. So when you open Pixellab, this is what it will give to you. This is how it will be. Now, first of all, the edit. The edit is for your tests. Your test. If there is any test you want to input, just touch on the edit to edit the test. Now this is it. God is good. God is good. Now this is God is good. This is my test, you see. Okay. Now I've added or edited the test. God is good. Now what about the delete? The delete, just like it is, delete is to clear what you wrote or to delete what you wrote. Now this is it. I've cleared everything. Now you will discover that as I press the delete and in our layer there is nothing in our layer, the symbol A have changed to test and quote. Now you are going to touch on the test, which is the plus. Now we are back again. Now there is a new test for us to edit if we actually want to edit the test. Good. The test. Now I've talked about edit, I've talked about delete. Now the copy. The copy is to copy what you have written before. Initially we wrote God is good. God is good. God is good. Sorry, God is faithful. Okay. Now this is it. So I want to duplicate this, copy it. You press on copy, see, it's now 2. God is faithful, God is faithful is now 2. That is the function of this copy here, to copy what you have already done. Instead of re-entering your test and editing the test, just copy it, then you will have the same thing. Now to the front, this to the front is if you want one to come at the front of another. For instance, let's say, let me delete this, I delete this one, delete this. Now I'm now left with 2. Let's edit this back to God is awesome. God is awesome. God is awesome. Now this is it. God is awesome. Now this is God is faithful. So this God is awesome, we want God is awesome to be at the front of God is faithful. Or I have 2 image. Okay, let's do it with image. I want to show you the use of to the front and to the back. Now let's import an image. For instance, this plus sign. Now from gallery we are importing an image. Let's say I import this beautiful food here. This is 1. Let's put it. This is the food as beautiful. Now let's import another thing again. I want to show you what it actually means from gallery. Now let's import don't miss this. This is don't miss this. Now we are having 2 things here, don't miss it and the food. So what is the use of to the front and to the back? This is it, to the front and to the back. Now to the front, this image I want to bring it to the front, which is already at the front. So if I want to take it to the back and bring the other one to the front, I tap to the back. This is now at the back of this foot. Then the food is now at the front. If I want to take this food also, if I want to bring that one to the front also, I tap to the front, is now at the front, to the back is now at the back. Good. So let's delete these things and continue our class. Good. Now the next thing we are dealing with here now, don't forget, the next thing we are dealing with here is, the next thing is position. Position is just like movement, moving it any direction you want. So this is the slow way of moving it to any corner, any angle, anywhere you actually want it to go. That is the usefulness of this position. Now we have relative position. Now position, you want to position it to the middle of your layer, which is this. Let's take this out, or let's cover it, let's hide it. Now good. Now this is what we are dealing with. To the middle is now the middle. To the up or top, this is it. Down, this is it. The side, this is it. Side, this is it. Middle. Now this is the use of relative position. Now size, we all know what size is. You want to reduce the size, add the size. That is what the size is meant for. Good. Now the padding is actually, if you want to give space at the left, you use padding to move. Want to give space to the right, the same thing, you give space to the right. Let's say you want to move it, adjust it a little. That is just the use of the padding. Now the next thing is color. You all know the use of color. You want to color your design any color you want, you color your design. Beautiful color. Now good, there is something you have to understand in this color. You can actually pick each letter one by one, or each word, and color it differently. All you have to do is to adjust this here. Just be adjusting. Let me say I want to color God, let's say white. Yeah, let's color God white. This is it. Sorry, God is white. Now is, we want to color it another color, or let me pick yellow. Now we want to color awesome green. Now awesome, we are going to color it green. You look for your green. Now you see each of it has its own uniqueness. Now texture is actually just the way it is. You want to add another image to be the color, or to be the adapting color of your text, so I can use that food that I used the other time as my texture. Now this is it, I pick it to be. Now if we should apply a good font and make it a bigger size, this is what it means. It's now the color of the food that is carrying. Now opacity means how do you want it to show? Do you want it to shout? Do you want it to be dull? Just blend it. You see, I reduce the opacity, is off. I increase the opacity, is increasing little by little till it reaches 100%. Now we have rotate. Yes, we all know what rotate is used for. To rotate it anyhow you want. Let's say you want it to rotate a little, you use your rotate angle rotate to rotate it to any direction you actually want. Good. Now mask. This mask is actually used for cutting it into styles. I normally use mask for pictures, not only for words, to cut your words into size. Let's say you want to blend two things, you want to show one and leave the other, you use your masking tools. Now we have front. Yes. Now in our next tutorial I'll be showing you how to import front, how to bring in front. But here is, you pick any front you like and add it. You see this bigger front, this took 5 that I picked, has actually made the text to be bolder. The food, we can now fully see the food. Let me zoom. Let's see. This is actually it. You see the food is showing. The food is actually showing bolder. Good. Now that is the work of the texture there. Now we have I've explained the front. Yes, the style, you want it bold, you can touch on bold, it will be bolder. You want it Italy, sorry, so it's now in Italy form. You want to underline it to underline itself. Good. Now the next thing there is curve. Let's say you want to make a curve of what you are doing. You see I'm actually doing. Good. Now we have background of the text. You want to make give the text a background. So this is it. You can pick any background that fits it. I just want to show you the use of all these things. It's not as if we are making a design yet, but if you want to see design, check my YouTube channel, and please don't forget to subscribe. Now that is for the background. The alignment, we have the left alignment, we have the middle alignment, we have the right alignment. So depending on the one you want to use, when you type more than one sentence, you can actually use the alignment to arrange them. So we have the spacing. We have letter spacing. You want to space each letter to give gap. That is letter spacing. You want to bring it together. We also have word spacing. If you want to give space each word, not letter now, word spacing. You can see what it's doing. Beautiful. Good. Now we have line spacing. You see, this line spacing is when you have other word, you want to space it a little bit. Don't worry, in our next tutorial when we make a design, you will see the use. We have stroke. We have stroke. I want to add stroke. You see how I added stroke, black stroke. This is what was added here, and our design came out beautiful. You can see this is for black stroke, and this is what you will have. Now let's go to the next one. After the stroke, the shadow. If I want to add shadow, you can see the shadow is adding and is reducing. It's adding and is reducing. So if you want to add shadow to your text, it's actually the shadow symbol you touch to add shadow. And this opacity means how do you want the shadow to be? Is it very visible or slightly visible? You adjust the opacity. So we have the inner shadow, that is inside the letter. The shadow will just affect inside the letter, not the outside. We have the emboss. Emboss is for design to make it look a little bit of 3D. Then the intensity, you see, the more we touch this thing, the more beautiful and the more giving the text is becoming. Now we have perspective is bending. You want to bend it to any direction you want. Just on the perspective, you are seeing what is happening here. It's now bending. It's bending. This is what we do with perspective. You can see this is how it is now. Beautiful. To understand the use of each of these, then you know 3D. You want to make a 3D rotate. Now we have 3D text. You want to add a text, a 3D, that is, let's say a 3-dimensional shape.